guess. Let's do it, dude. I guess I'm going live as well. Can you hear me, see everything?
Yeah, sort of. Cool. Here, I'll scoot over a little bit. Don't scoot in. Here, you scoot over just a little bit too, John. You have enough.
Yeah.
I'll scoot over.
No, let's scoot up just a little bit. Oh, my phone is... I don't like the angle of that, though.
You can... Hey, Johnny, you can... It's just because the way your pig is, dude. That's
Yeah, it's at an angle and it's just weird. Hold up.
Could you, like, pinch it in between two books or something?
No, I'm trying to like set it on top of one of them. Great start to the live stream, by the way, and no kidding.
Yeah, this is the great... Hello again, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joshua Jacob Stickle, and that is my friend Johnny Bennett's head.
Hello.
I hope you enjoy watching that for the time being.
I'm just trying to get my phone set up too. We're all doing a live stream, so.
Yeah, it's a three-way live stream. We got Dalton Kimball, the Hillbilly Brawler. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Dalton Kimball, the Hillbilly Brawler. For everyone on my YouTube, sorry I haven't uploaded anything in a couple months, kind of hit a rough patch. But I'm going to get more content to you as well as a wider variety, so
There we go, cool.
like, comment,
That's
and
much better
subscribe.
now. Alright, hello everybody, my name is the Wasteland Warrior, aka Johnny Bennett.
I'm Joshua Stickle. I'm the Fighting Warrior. Thank you guys for viewing today's video. I appreciate you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you're smashing that thumbs up icon, pressing the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to help to support me on my journey to be the greatest combat sports athlete I can be. Damn it, I'm reconnecting. This sucks.
It's probably because we're doing a three-way live stream.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully your guys doesn't go out.
Yeah, mine...
Oh, here, we're back.
Okay, yeah, you're back on. We didn't crash though, that's cool.
Yeah. So sorry about that. We just like went out for a second. We got a lot of topics to talk about today, actually. We're gonna table. So we should introduce ourselves again. I guess we didn't do that formally enough since your head was in the way.
Yeah.
I'll start off. Excuse me. Alright, my name is Joshua Jacob Stickle, and I'm the Fighting Warrior training to be the greatest combat sports athlete I can be, and this is my first ever podcast I'm performing on YouTube. So, if you enjoy, make sure you're smashing that thumbs up icon and pressing the like button down below. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to help support me on my journey, and follow me, because I'll be uploading content as often as possible. That sounded kind of informal. Go ahead and in there.
Alright, so I'm Dalton Kimball, aka the Hillbilly Brawler. Yeah, so this is my first podcast. It's gonna be pretty much all of ours. But be sure you like, comment, subscribe. Sorry I haven't uploaded anything in a while. I'm gonna get some more content out to you guys.
So, for those of you who don't know, this is a three-way live stream. We have it going on all three of our channels, so make sure you check it out. When this is uploaded and finished, I'll make sure to leave the channel links in the description below for both the Wasteland Warrior and the Hillbilly Brawler.
And I'll do the same with both of theirs as well. My name is Johnny Bennett, aka the Wasteland Warrior. I'm training to be the greatest weapons expert I can be, and I am also training to be a bodybuilder and also a martial artist as well. So,
let's start off with that. Let's start off with how we know each other first, then we'll move into to who we are and what our goals are here on YouTube. So, I've known Johnny for about 7.5 years, almost 8 years now, and we've been best friends pretty much ever since day one. We've hung out every day together, every day that we could. Man, I don't even know where to go with that. We've had a lot of fun time together, but we're really, I guess what I'm gonna get at is Eddie. Hey, like that? What's up with that?
huh? Oh yeah.
Man, my freaking video is reconnecting. I hope
Oh yeah.
that's gonna irk me.
Irk my giblets. It's irking me.
Really? Oh man. Are we gonna have to restart this completely?
It's only yours that's buffering. Why? That's
I'm so
weird.
sad. Alright, well, I guess we can't let this interrupt the fucking podcast or else it's gonna be a really crappy one, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
tell everyone to come check out mine or Johnny's.
Yeah. I guess when it pops back in, or if it pops back in. I apologize for that, you guys. It really sucks.
There it goes.
Alright, so,
sorry about that break. Nothing was discussed.
but yeah,
So.
I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time with connection problems. Hold on, let me fix something really quick. There we go. Alright. That was some bull honky.
Issues.
He's got a lot of issues. So,
No.
fucking, let's talk about, I've known Johnny since I was in 6th grade. He was in 8th grade.
7th, actually. I'm a year older than you.
But I thought you were 2 grades above.
No, I was only 1 grade.
Okay. Alright, so,
Because whenever you were in 8th grade, I was in high school, and I would always get off and wait for you on the bus. Or at the bus stop.
alright, you're right.
So,
I'm sorry. It was a rough time.
it's all good.
I can't remember.
I can't remember a lot of stuff.
Me and Johnny met, like, right when we both kind of, like, started growing up, maturing in life, so we became, like, really good friends. I didn't have many friends growing up. I moved around a lot, so it was kind of, I was more antisocial. I didn't know how to make friends. Most of us, actually, in this podcast none of us actually really know how to make friends the best.
Yeah,
But
people. How do you talk to people?
socializing is something
Yeah.
we try to work on the best we can.
Yeah, I can't socialize worth shit.
Yeah.
I hate, well, it's just because I've had a lot of
But
bad experiences with
I
it.
think the more we spend time with each other, the better we learn how to socialize, not only with each other, but
Either that or the weirder we keep getting, and it just ends up working out.
Yeah, because we enjoy each other's
Mhm.
company.
Yeah.
So back to this. Okay, it says right up here on the screen we got behind us that we're going live, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. Oh yeah, check that out.
Dope.
Wait, it doesn't say that it's on my channel yet though.
No, that is on your channel. This is
yeah,
all
okay,
your channel.
yeah,
number.
that's
Alright,
right,
so
yeah.
it's only gonna pop up on probably one screen.
That's
but,
right, yeah. That's on my account.
Yeah. But what am I trying to say? I think there's a turning point in everybody's friendship, everybody's relationship in general, where they become closer, they
Yeah.
bond and become tighter. What do you think that moment was between me and you, Dalton?
The party. The party, definitely.
Do I gotta bring up the party? Do you not remember the party?
Yeah, there's reasons I don't remember the party though.
Alright, so this is
I don't know.
this is a party that me and Dalton had in the summer, and
Andre's birthday.
it was Andre's birthday. The
And
day
he never
before-
showed
the day
up.
before his graduation, and so of course you know how that was gonna go. Everybody was gonna get wasted. Everybody was gonna have a big old party, and so there was drugs, there was alcohol, there was a big bonfire, and there was the Department of Wildlife.
Wow, that's a perfect thing you would say.
So listen, it's me, Dalton, this 9th grader, which I don't even know why he's there. Who needs a 9th grader or fucking 14, 15-year-old kid that I really don't know much about at all. But
it was just a bad
Dalton's
scenario.
drunk, this 14, 15-year-old kid's drunk. I'm a little bit tipsy. I've been drinking a little bit responsibly. I'm not trying to get too incredibly wasted, but so you're gonna take this party up into the mountains. Dalton, he slammed like a bottle of moonshine, a bottle of Jaeger, like a full bottle of moonshine, half a bottle of Jaeger, half a bottle of Crown, like 15 beers, like to himself.
Jesus.
It was insane. He really went at it, and we're sitting around a fire. He's lucky he didn't get alcohol poisoning, Don, to be honest. So kids, don't do that at home. Be responsible with what you do. If you want to have fun.
Don't make the decisions we've made in the past.
Yeah.
All right, but moving on to a less touchier subject. No, I'm joking. So I got Dalton spilling his fucking life story out on me, and he's just bawling his eyes out, and then I'm just like trying to cheer him up, keep him motivated. You know me, just kind of like being who I am. I don't cry a whole lot. And I'm just kind of like, hey, bro, it's all right. You know, cheer up. We'll get through this. Life is life. Everybody has fucking a hard time. You know, it's some people have it worse than others. I'm sure somebody has it worse than you. You know, you can't think that it's the end of the world because you've had a bad experience with things. The obstacles are, you know, tools you use to become a stronger person. And this and that and blah, blah, blah. I don't think he remembered any of this because he was just drunk and fucking gone off of his ass. But then he's crying, and then I got this 9th grader, fucking 14-year-old kid that I don't know crying too. He's all like, they're both crying together, telling me like, oh, I love you, man. I'm just like, I don't even know either you guys. I know Dalton, but like, you know, we're still just like, this is that turning point. We barely just knew each other. We're still just kind of getting to hang
That was
out.
the first time we hung out.
This is like, yeah, this is still the turning point.
It's a reoccurring theme with me. Like, the first time I hang out with any of my new homies, we just get fucking... Yeah.
So listen, that's that turning point, you know. But we're sitting around that bonfire up in the foothills near the mountains, and you know nobody's around. Everybody left us to go like pick up more friends, get more liquor, get more drugs. We're all alone, no cars, no nothing, dude. We have like nothing but this fire around us, and then out of nowhere, the Department of Wildlife pulls up. And I got fucking 2 cases of beer, 3 open bottles of liquor, 2 underage drunk people, including myself, and a big old fire out in the friggin' middle of nowhere. So I'm like, holy shit, what do? I just take my blanket, throw over the liquor. Guy walks up, he's like, are you drunk? And I was like, yeah, he's drunk. He's like, what about him? And I was like, he's tipsy, but he's not drunk. He's like, what about you? No, I'm not drunk at all. And then, you know, so I'm completely lying to this guy. And I tell him that I'm not drunk, but I totally am. And he, you know, he believes me though, because I'm completely, well, what can I say? I'm completely,
Normal when you're, well.
No, I'm more, I can control myself. I don't lose.
Yeah, you are definitely right.
Well, also, you know, I just know when to limit myself. I don't like to drink a whole lot. I don't drink that much. But, so there we are. We're at this party just having a good old time. And Department of Wildlife shows up. And we have to put out the fire. And I'm hiding all the liquor under this blanket. And then all the cars come back up with all the other fucking party members that showed up. And more liquor and this and that. And luckily, no one went to jail, dude. I'm so happy we made it out of that.
Lucky.
No fines, no tickets, no
We
charges of sorts, no death. Gosh, it could have been way worse. You almost fell in the fire like 3 times, I swear to God.
Didn't I lay in it for a minute?
No, you almost did. You know, you stepped in it for fucking like 3 minutes though. I didn't notice until I was like, oh dude, you're like, oh, that's alright. My shoe's a little bit burned, but goddamn it. No, but
I ended up like puking 8 times.
oh my god,
Passing
he
the fuck
was
out.
throwing up so much at the end of the night. It was
And then I
horrible.
woke up the next morning and puked twice.
Ugh,
That was just
it was
a bad night all
just
the way around.
disgusting.
Do not ever do that.
Drink responsibly.
Don't
Be
drink.
intelligent. Don't even drink. If you're intelligent, don't drink
Just
at all.
don't drink. It's a bad habit.
Alright, what is mine yours turning point, Johnny? When did me and you become best friends? What is the fucking story of it? Like,
I would say it's probably the first time that you and I got off the bus at our old elementary school, or my old elementary school.
not elementary school. It was your old elementary school, but we got off from middle school. We were in junior high.
Yeah, but we got up at the elementary school to walk to our house because it was closer. But, we were just walking up this road, you know, and we're both just, you know, sitting there talking back and forth, and, and then we get, you know, pretty close to our houses and stuff, and he's like, hey, are you following me? And he's like, no, are you following me? And I'm like, no. And he's like, and I'm like, where do you live? And he's like, right over there. And I'm like, really? Dude, I live like right over there around the corner. And he's like, no way. So, you know, after that, I started going over to his house pretty much every single day. And, that's pretty much whenever we hit it off. We just started.
Daily routine.
Yeah, yeah,
We
pretty
just
much.
started hanging out every day as much as we could.
We started bodybuilding and shit. We started doing zombie survival training and stuff. And
Yeah. I think. All right. Yeah. I think. Dude. All right.
and
The turning
that's
point-
where I wanted. To
That's.
start
I think the
this,
turning
you know?
point for our relationship right there was
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it was the fucking
was-
training and shit.
2012, I believe. It was early 2012 in like July. It was July.
Wasn't it?
Maybe June. I don't know. But I know that I was in like I just got out of my 6th grade year or something, and I was going into 7th grade, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you've known me since I was in 6th grade. You are 2 grades above me, man.
Was I?
And yeah, I believe you are. But that's another topic. We'll talk about that again. But anyway, maybe I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, we just heard that there was like some weird attack on a homeless man, like some dude that looked like a zombie ate a dude's face and stuff, and there was all this like weird stuff going on around on the internet
5150, bro.
Yeah.
about stuff in Florida, in Miami, in
5150.
California. Dude, I don't know.
Do you know what 5150 is?
No, I don't.
It's the California Crazy Code.
But I don't know. But it was
I don't know.
insane.
What
So
is that?
you know, as a 12-year-old
So
kid,
someone like eating someone's face, or is it something that insane?
it's
It's a 5150.
That's
It's the
a
California
police.
Crazy Code.
It's like police,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
For
All
like
right,
the
yeah.
police.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like a lot of guys in prison and stuff will get that tattooed on them.
Oh, all right.
So listen, that as a 12-year-old kid, me and Johnny, well, Johnny was older than I was, but we were like fucking, we were just completely, in awe by this, like, oh, the apocalypse could be happening. This is the zombie apocalypse happening in real life, like, could this be real? So
yeah.
we got like we hit it off so much that we started like going around and collected like the coolest weapons out of trash and stuff and trying to like
we got
make
these like
what we could.
nails about like this big,
Like 9-inch nails and stuff like that.
and we called them like Tom nails. We would like throw them at a tree and like boards and stuff and
Tomahawk nails, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tomahawk nails. We call them Tom nails.
Oh
like,
gosh,
mix
that was
them.
such a dorky name.
Yeah, we were really young back
Yeah,
then.
but we just came up with these weird ass names for these cool ass weapons that we would design ourselves, and we really tried our best.
Gears, bro.
Yeah, and now that we're older, we actually have legitimate like ideas for cool weapons that we can make.
Jeezy says, "Hi, what are you guys talking about?" We're just talking about
How we met each other right now,
Yeah,
but I
pretty
think
much.
topics are about to switch over into the zombie apocalypse really soon. So, topics are about to switch up here. You might as well stay tuned because it's about to get really interesting.
Yeah, we have actually quite a lot to talk about.
So me and Johnny started training for the zombie apocalypse. This is like something we really aspired for because we believed it was really going to happen. Like this stuff going around on YouTube, and we would like look it up all over the internet, like the possibilities of the zombie apocalypse. So we started really like training, like finding all this cool stuff in the trash, like making armor, watching movies, doing all this cool studying like zombies and stuff.
Yeah, like
And,
studying like what kind of diseases would like transform
Yeah.
and like mutate, and like different types of zombies that there would be, like what kind of zombie apocalypse you would be stuck in and stuff like that.
So as young adults growing up, this kind of motivated us to become who we are now, and like altered our personality to do what we do. But YouTube and videos online and social media had a lot to do with. Had a lot to do with how we were influenced, or how that left, all that conspiracy left that impression on me and Johnny. What about you? Did you were into all that, right? When you in 2012, you heard about all that weird face eating stuff going on, right?
Yeah, but 2012 was just a bad year.
Dude, honestly,
It was the best year of my life, but it was the worst year of my life.
in reality, it wasn't the best. Like, it wasn't the best or worst year of my life. I like just got out of a homeless shelter and got into a house through housing by the state and stuff. So that helped a lot with my my
Living
self-esteem.
situation.
Yeah, it helped a lot with my self-esteem and who I was trying to open up as a young child growing up. But also Johnny helped a lot with that, just being there as my friend and stuff.
It's like if I didn't have anywhere to sleep, I'd be like, "You just come over to my place.
Yeah,
I got you."
But all right, so let's switch over the subjects. All right, so let's talk about the zombie apocalypse. And what I mean the zombie apocalypse is like, what would you do the first day of the zombie apocalypse? And tell me, what type of zombie apocalypse do you think would be the most realistic, and what zombie apocalypse would you rather live in, rather than any other sort of form of zombie virus? Like, what would you rather have to? What type of zombie virus would you want to live with? You know, like what sort of
like
mutation? Whether
it could
you know,
be from like a movie,
Resident Evil,
games,
or you know, fuck. I mean, there's zombies.
or
in
it
Resident
could
Evil,
just be from your own imagination. You know, if
I
you're
like
really that creative.
fucking what's it called? That one we were talking about last night, the virus or the parasite that like gets inside you and grows like the
mushrooms.
Oh, the cordyceps?
Yeah, cordyceps.
Yeah, alright, so that's from The Last of Us. For
Yeah.
those of you who've never played the video game The Last of
Yeah.
Us, I greatly encourage you to play that. It's a very
Great
good
game.
game.
Yeah, I've beat it like 8 times and I love it. I love it to death. I cannot wait for part 2 to come out.
I greatly encourage you to play it if you haven't. An incredible story, awesome details, awesome gameplay. But so if you ask me, first day of the zombie apocalypse, I'm like, I live out here pretty far in the middle of nowhere. So as long as I'm like pretty like far away enough from the city, which I mean I'm not far from a highway, but I'm far from the town itself. So I feel like maybe the highway I'm not gonna want to go near, and I worry because I'm not more than 2 miles from the highway that people are gonna be trying to come into my house or you know whatever. But the first 24 hours is always gonna be the worst. And so what would be your plans for the first 24 hours? For the first 24 hours, I'm boarding up and barricading my entire house, my property. Anything I can do to keep my, you know, safe zone safer.
No, this depends, cause like it depends on where I'm at. Cause if I'm where I'm living now in Grand Junction,
Yeah.
my first 24 hours are gonna be out fucking going
Yeah.
because that's all I got. I mean, I'm in the middle of a town, and like everyone.
Well, and then you also like another thing is like, what virus are we talking about? Are we talking about Walking Dead virus? What's the most
the cordyceps.
the most logical one to use? The cordyceps? Do you think that's the most
Yeah.
realistic? What's the most realistic to you?
Well, I would say from my own imagination, I would say probably the rabies virus.
Being mutated, like in
If the
Okay.
rabies were to somehow like mutate,
they
and
call
become
that
more like
in World War Z. That's called the Ripon virus, or the what was that called? World War Z. Look it up. Look it up.
I don't think the mouse works.
No, not World War Z. I mean Legend. I Am Legend.
Oh, okay.
And,
There you go. I forgot we had split screen.
Uh-oh. I apologize, Johnny.
No, that's okay. Shit. No, just throw that away.
It is called the Crippen virus. Alright, so the I Am Legend virus
There you
is
go.
known as the Crippen virus.
and
And,
funny.
And that is more of kind of like a strain of like, in the book they explain it a little bit more like vampire-ish kind of like details, but
Yeah, it's like a vampire.
they're also very,
It's like they don't like sunlight.
the zombies are intelligent. They're not even zombies in the comic, or in the...
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
book.
they're
just
like
vampires
normal
pretty much.
people, but.
And in the comic, in the book, it's the fact that the reason it's called I Am Legend is because Robert Neville ends up figuring out that the zombies or vampires have created this entire civilization on their own without humans. They've moved on. They feel they've adapted. They've grown. They've changed into this better race with more opportunities. And Robert Neville is literally impacting their race to such a point they're trying to kill him, and he's the last human pretty much in existence that hasn't
So he
changed.
thinks.
So he believes. Wait, in the book that is how it is, dude.
Yeah.
He is the last human in
Yeah,
existence.
but in the movie, that's what he thinks.
But you know, that's kind of like the whole thing is like he is legend because he's like wiping out their entire race on his own and you know holding him off on his own. He was just a badass. You know, he coming down at the end of it. But he dealt with like severe depression and you know stress problems and stuff like that, anxiety. He was affected severely by that.
Yeah, but see, I think like one of the kind of infections that I think I would be able to, sustain would be probably, I don't know. There's a lot of like if it was to mutate, because of course it's going to, but that would just make it worse. But I would say probably Resident Evil.
What are you insane? Oh my god, like the tyrants and shit. Fuck that. I never want to be around anything like that. It's just like, I mean, their zombies weren't the worst, but like, are we just talking about their zombies? Or are we talking about?
No, just the
Okay.
just the regular T virus. I'm not talking about the G virus or the whatever virus else they made. I know there's one called the A virus. If you guys haven't seen Resident Evil Vendetta,
Yeah.
it's actually a really good. It's like an animated movie. It's actually
They got a bunch of really good like Degeneration. I like Resident Evil a lot. So like there's Degeneration, but but
I love the old games as well. Resident Evil 4 was the best in my opinion.
I actually my favorite sort of zombie. I kind of like.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Resident Evil 4 because it wasn't really like a bite and it infects you.
Yeah,
it was more of like a mind controlling ball of whatever. It was like a living thing that they would just like fucking stuff down your throat, but it would like control your mind and they could still talk and
I think
do everything.
out of all the zombies,
they still run.
the most logical to me, because I could see us easily getting like a mind parasite, and that's where like the cordyceps comes in, because it's like the most logical to me.
Yeah.
Now listen. There's a lot of details you can kind of bring up about this, and I think we should think of it like this. What makes an infection or a virus a parasite, or what makes an infection a virus? What makes a parasite a virus? What turns this into an actual like?
You want to get down into the science of it?
And what's turning you into a zombie? Yeah. So we know the cordyceps is of course a parasite completely taking over control of your body, and just like it does insects. So that's the ideology or the conspiracy around that. The rabies is completely making you a mind creature, which
a mindless, aggressive,
which
biting creature,
which has a hunger for flesh or whatever. So you're rabid, and it's
no,
insane.
not really, because they'll pretty much just bite and then spread the infection. It's kind of like a World War Z kind of thing.
No, that's not exactly it. You're wrong.
No,
rabies is just mindless. You'll fucking eat like just. Kind of like a
they
dog,
just don't
dude.
care.
It's more like an angry dog all the time. That's what you'd be like. You gotta imagine. It's like you could eat something, and as long as you're eating and nothing disturbs you, you're not gonna kill that and eat that too. You know what I'm saying? But it's anything. It's not even gonna just be humans for you. Now with what he has going on, I think it'd be more like that. It would be more like I'm just biting you to infect you. Actually, I feel like the cordyceps aren't the type of zombies. And I think that's where The Last of Us actually kind of went wrong, in my opinion, is the cordyceps are more like the World War Z zombies, or they should be. They're going to bite you just to infect you and not to
just eat you.
They're not there to eat you. They're
it's not
there
like the
to
Walking
infect
Dead,
you. Because what it's like, it's like a hive mind. They're trying to take control as much as they can. But and I think that's another thing where they went wrong. It's like, it should be kind of like this hive mind mentality as a spore, as a fungus, kind of like the flood from Halo. I think that's the best I can compare it to, is because they grow into the grave mind, which is like just the one being incarnated from all the zombies and shit. But I think that's like the ultimate mutation of the zombies and stuff like that, which makes sense to me. And the reason I say that is because in the case for the cordyceps, the fungus, it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And it's like one spore. Dude, like, because you should be able, like, if you didn't know, scientifically, they can track, like, spores all the way back. Like, one family's spores can be tracked all the way back to, like, a meteorite. They said that carried the spore from like wherever, but they're like nobody really exactly knows where spores came from, but they say mycelium might have came from like a meteorite or something like that. But there's a lot of speculations. I have not like don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly, but there's a lot of speculations and conspiracies around where fungus came from and how like it could be like an alien species to the planet Earth, and how it could cause all these like weird diseases and stuff. But I don't know. I love mushrooms, so. But I think that's like that's how I view that. Is like I feel like the cordyceps virus, it should be more kind of like the grave mind, hive mind, like flood mentality almost.
But I think it should be
the
multiple. Like I think, like one sport. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple like top sports, but I think it should be more like tribes.
Yeah.
Like instead of just one across the planet, it should be like groups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like mutate.
And each one can turn into something different because each one's a different sport.
All right. So
Each one.
the thing I find wrong with the rabies zombie is it's gonna kill its prey too much before it gets to spread the infection. You're gonna have this
It's
problem
basically
of
just gonna
constantly-
wipe out all of it.
Yeah, it's gonna kill itself too because
Yeah.
it's just like that rabid mind. If it sees its hand moving too much, it's gonna want to eat its hand. You know what I'm saying? That's like how bad
Yeah.
it will get.
Yeah.
And so like we're talking about like mad cow disease, kind of like
And
rabies.
well,
you know?
that's also kind of cool because in what is it? Dying Light, or no, not Dying Light. Dead Island.
Yeah.
The what were those zombies called? The ones that would like chew off their arms
They
and then they would
decay
have
and stuff. Yeah. Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
what
they
those
would just
called,
have, like,
thrash or something like that.
or they were called like I can't remember what they were called.
Yeah,
but
where they chewed off their arms. And
Yeah,
their
and
legs
they
out
had,
of
yeah,
there.
their bones were sticking out, but they had, they used those, or the butcher zombies. That's what they are, the butcher zombies, yeah. And yeah, they would like have, bone shivs coming out of their arm, and they would just,
And it's
slash
because
them
they didn't have
violently.
the idea like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't, I'm not supposed to chew off my own arm. But like I'm saying, like, what's the point of extent before a zombie can injure itself to the point where it's like just incapable of doing anything? It's not a zombie anymore. It's just a fucking crawling piece of body.
yeah.
And that's another thing is like how lethal is a zombie gonna be if it it can't move, it can't walk because its muscles are so decayed, or it's it's incapable from all these things that it's done to itself, like, or it's just hurt itself too much or something like that. And another thing is like, how long do you think it would take to rebuild from society after a zombie apocalypse? Do you think we would? Do you think we would ever?
I think if a zombie apocalypse happened, honestly, we're all going to go down one point or the other. Especially with this idea of spores, because they're just going to keep spreading. And there's going to be no way to completely eradicate all of those. So it's just going to keep spreading, so we're all screwed. Like, I start getting that shit, I'm sticking whatever gun I got in my mouth.
Listen. Alright, this is my most realistic view from it, and I'll tell you guys, I'll start off with my book. And I'll tell you guys about my book because it involves the zombie apocalypse. So we're going to switch subjects completely here in a second. My book is called The Day It Hit. I've been writing it since like 2014, and I knew that was about to happen.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I've been writing it since 2014, and it's pretty interesting because it has a lot to do about the zombie apocalypse, and it involves World War III and this young character named Romeo Blood, and he was born after World War III, before the zombie apocalypse. So he grew up in this kind of like mid-period where there's like this lawless society where he grew up just kind of like being able to do whatever he wanted, and living like in hard times where he had to struggle a lot, but he still like had a good time and learned a lot growing up. So that's kind of the coolest part to it. And so he grows up like in that lawless society, and then bam, out of nowhere the zombie apocalypse happens and everything goes to shit. Any signs of a society had tried to rebuild after World War III, which pretty much wiped out all of society and civilization around the world. they end up. So he's like now gonna have to like survive not only after World War III without civilization. Now he has to survive in the zombie apocalypse, which is pretty cool.
Not really. No.
Here's Johnny.
Here's
That's great.
Is it my turn to talk about
Oh,
first?
yeah.
No?
Cool.
No, not yet. But
Alright.
so Romeo, the zombie apocalypse in my book, it happens because there's like satellite where the last of society and civilization came together to kind of like build this super advanced civilization that's kind of like outcasted everything else. If you're not like super rich, super intelligent, or have some sort of
A lot of high-tech
convenience.
technology.
Or just some sort of convenience to a super advanced civilization. Then they don't need you. They don't want you. So and then also they got to keep it below a certain population to keep things sustainable and whatnot. But they end up going through all these this like high tech advancements and becoming this like super awesome race of like humans, just living on doing their own thing on Earth. But they got this satellite, and it's kind of like the CDC. The satellite is so they have all these like crazy things going on. Like it's a huge lab that they have up in space, and they have it up in space because they felt like it was the most safe place to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But also after World War III, the planet had been so scorched and just destroyed by humanity's destruction from nuclear bombs and all that other bullcrap of war that they now like actually have this huge kind of like how would I explain this, like this recycling building that is just like kind of like partway in the ocean and in the sky, and it's just used to like take in trash and form it down into a raw material and build out of it, or make useful material out of it instead of it ruining the atmosphere. It also so it's just kind of like this huge fan that like filters air and filters water and breaks down garbage and gets rid of all the carcinogens and bad stuff for the atmosphere and for the earth, and it's just kind of like trying to repair the earth from what happened, because the earth, the humans are kind of responsible for it. And since this more advanced civilization has formed after World War III, from like all the civilizations like that didn't destroy themselves, they came together with all their resources and material and just kind of like did what they could to be the best they could. And in the end, that CDC thing ends up crashing into that huge building, and somehow it ends up like mixing all these like chemicals and all that what would you call that, the process, like the bullshit the sludge fucking bullshit process from that raw material.
The waste.
The waste, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, the shit that you don't need.
Yeah, they that mixed with all these like super poisonous or like contagious funguses and chemicals and diseases, viruses, infections, blah blah blah, this and that, and then it all fell in the ocean, and just it melted this huge part of this this glacier, which just released all these super old, frozen in time, like germs and stuff like that, bacteria that haven't seen, haven't seen the sun in years, thousands. I don't even. I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry, but in the end, like it makes it super like rad ass fucking zombie virus that pretty much nobody survives, like at all. Like it completely wipes out every form of life on the planet. It infects everything from insects to reptiles to humans, and they're just kind of like more of like they're like just there to sustain themselves in kind of a sort of way, like this hive mentality where like they need to eat, they need to be like nourished and stuff, but it's like they're also still kind of like that dog, like a mix between, you know, the cordyceps and the World War Z, you know, kind of like ideas. Like, I'm gonna eat you to a point where, like, I know you're infected and you're gonna be kind of fucked up, but I can walk away from you and I know you're gonna get up and still be alive, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, and you're still gonna be. You know,
well,
make
and
sure
another
it's
thing
not
is,
too-
like, my zombies, they're, like, so sick that they're constantly, like, throwing up and, like, you know, shitting themselves, defecating, you know, urinating, and just leaving all this, like, bile and, you know, just, like, crying, like, and, like, from every orifice, like, there's, like, these tarry, like, liquids just pouring out of their eyes, their ears, their nose, their
And
mouth.
that's basically, you know, spreading the infection
Yeah.
further too.
And then they have, like,
it's
these
getting in
huge,
the water supply,
Yeah,
it's
they have
getting
these
in the air as well.
huge cysts and tumors that, you know, that can pop and, like, spread the infection, and then
And
they
it's
have,
also
like,
corrosive
funguses.
as well.
Yeah, they have funguses. They can, like, spray spores and shit, which can also spread the infection. And of course, like, the coughing and, like, sneezing for people who have just recently been infected can infect you. Scratches, bites, blood in the mouth, anything. It's, like, probably the most contagious infection you could probably think of. It's like the Black Plague, but it's turning you into a zombie. And at the same time, like, the zombies aren't there to, like, completely just kill you because they want to eat you. They're like, I'm gonna take a couple bites and get distracted by something else. Like, they can't pay attention to something for more than, like, 0.8 seconds. So it's like, I'll take, like, 3 big bites out of you and fucking start running in just some random direction for no reason. And then if you're not, like, unconscious or dead, by the time, you know, you're infected, you're just gonna be doing exactly what he's doing. And that's how it just goes. And everybody ends up getting infected except for those who are either immune or somehow just survived by either luck or intuition and intelligence. But that's really just, like, I just kind of, like, brought that up to talk about that zombie infection. But the book ends up kind of taking a lot of different turns. It's more about a messiah in the zombie apocalypse after World War III, kind of like fulfilling these prophecies to save humanity and start over again as anew. But speaking of books, I know Dalton has a book that he'd probably want to talk about a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So I guess we should start with yeah, basically I've had a rough life, and through that I've messed up my head a little bit. So, like, I'll go through periods where I black out, and I used to, like, carve words into my arm and stuff like that. Well, one day I got a book, started writing everything down in a book, and so it's called The Diaries of a Lost Soul. And it, basically what it is just random quotes. And then I drop into my life story at the end. I don't know, it's weird.
Seems pretty philosophical and deep, you know, very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a pretty touchy subject, you know, that we could get into. But
Yeah,
you know,
it's
in the end,
no,
best not
what
to.
is
Yeah, it's
what I
best
want
not
everybody
to.
to know is, like, when you go through hard experiences like that in life, it's an obstacle that you're supposed to use, like, as a tool to become stronger and get over these other obstacles in your life. These other tools. These are, like, the tools you need to clear the path for yourself to, you know, be who you want to be and assure that you follow your dreams and achieve your goals, or, you know, just make sure that you're choosing the right path in life. But sometimes people perceive it in the wrong way, and that's kind of just unfortunate, not only for themselves but for people around them. So I want you to know that if you can find the courage deep down to stay strong and try to fight for you know, the right thing, or for what you think is right, and if it really is right and you feel confident fighting for it, then, you know, please speak your mind, because nothing you say or do is nothing you say or do that you felt the need to say or do is going to be wrong for you in the end, you know, especially if it's, you know, something that just needs to be said or done.
Yeah.
Mostly, I gotta say, Down chugs. Yeah.
Two words to
Go to
live by.
drugs.
Okay. One is everything happens for a reason,
Yeah.
and two is there's only two certainties in life, and that is death and change. So we have to accept those.
Yep.
And it's the hardest thing to do in your life, but after you do, it's great.
And honestly, if you ask me, you gotta encourage both of those. You have to not only just accept it, but you have to embrace it,
accept
embrace it,
like,
and
fully
understand it.
Yeah.
Dude, don't,
Yeah.
but don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't like
that's
push it
another
down
thing,
your throat all the time.
don't drop everything and hitchhike across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Off of boats, because you can hitchhike on
but
boats.
serious subject is just make sure you're doing what you think is right in life, because in the end you don't want to regret what you're doing.
What are you up to?
If you're not doing what you love, you're not
What?
doing anything at all.
We're up to 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's
We're
go.
gonna have a long podcast.
Yeah, fuck that. We
Yeah.
don't even touched into fucking some of the shit we got on here.
Oh, dude. We
Alright.
a whole lot more. Jesus Christ.
So let's move on now. Let's talk about YouTube, dude. Who's your favorite YouTuber, Johnny? Who's your favorite YouTuber, Dalton? Let's talk about that. That's gonna be the first.
What genre?
Like, just, dude, who is your favorite YouTuber? Why the fuck does it have to be a genre?
Because like,
Who is my favorite YouTuber, actually?
Dude, this is easy for me. Do I have to be the first to answer?
I already know yours.
Of course. I mean,
Alright, so I know this is gonna be kind of like
obvious.
stereotypical, but dude, no, my favorite YouTuber is PewDiePie, and why can I not say that? PewDiePie is the fucking greatest YouTuber ever. I mean, he has the most subscribers on YouTube for a reason, and I'm not saying that because he's my favorite YouTuber, but because he makes quality content. Not only did he just start off, as a nobody, just making games out of his, room, like game videos out of his room, like just playing games that every other average kid would have played, and then now look where he is. He's completely changed his the base of his channel, and now he's a completely different content creator altogether, I should say. But in the end, dude, he's really kind of changed the way people view YouTube altogether. Do you guys know who the first does anybody here know who was number one for subscribers on YouTube? Anybody? No?
PewDiePie?
No.
Jesus.
Justin Bieber.
Oh,
Justin
yeah.
Bieber was number one for subscribers on YouTube for a long ass time until PewDiePie took his place for that. So we gotta understand that what was YouTube for before PewDiePie came around? Music. That's exactly fucking right. And that's how Justin Bieber got what? Famous. Justin Bieber started off as a nobody, performing on the street, just uploading videos to YouTube with his mom. And then bam, he became this super fucking pop star. And now look, he's like some sort of rapper or something, right? So we gotta understand that originally YouTube started off as this music platform where people would upload usually music. That's where you got most of your views, most of your subscribers, most of your feedback in general was just through music. And then PewDiePie came around and completely changed the way everybody viewed YouTube. Now it's not just about music. People are uploading what now when people look at YouTube, what is it about?
Memes.
Okay.
It's not.
No.
It's
Listen.
a lot about memes.
Rewind back, not now, I mean 2012, 2014, what was YouTube about?
Funny
Videos.
Video games. Funny videos. Video games. Funny videos. Video games. Funny videos. What ended up being more popular?
Bro, you're gonna put me
Video
out.
games. But anyway, so I like funny videos more than I like
I
video
watch
games.
video
But
games all the time.
at every point, there's kids get into video games. They really enjoy playing, certain video games. I'm sure everybody has a favorite video game or has played a video game once, no matter how old they are. It's coming around that time where all the old people are gonna die and everybody plays video games. So, we're gonna talk old school, back in my day when PS3 was around, but
Back in my day, 1080p.
yeah, but oh god, no. So
Back in my day.
1080p.
An 8-bit.
Yeah, 64-bit.
And
But so what I'm saying is like YouTube changed from music to fucking video games and funny videos to being pretty much about funny videos and video games still. I mean, and music. I mean, but it's like PewDiePie himself kind of like widespread the platform, but it started off with people like Smosh and
Dude, Smosh, they are gods.
and then who is it? Team 4-Star that did the Dragon Ball Bridge. We gotta give these guys credits for kind of also like building up. Who else? Tobuscus. Tobuscus has been around forever.
Oh yeah.
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
He's been around for quite a while too.
Niga.
I don't really know who that is, but
Markiplier.
Markiplier's been around for a long time.
And then we gotta understand like now YouTube is a completely different platform of content of social media. It has completely changed from what it used to be to now being this widespread, versatile base of operation for people to upload content that can be for multiple purposes, no matter what. And I think that's kind of like what makes it so special now. It makes it such this unique and what can I say? This unique and prosperous foundation that everybody enjoys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I enjoy PewDiePie so much. And not only that, he makes good content.
See,
I fucking love if I could even be half of what PewDiePie.
yeah, same. But like, I like PewDiePie, but I can't watch him every day. I can't. It just is. It's not in me.
Yeah.
See,
I watch him religiously.
But like, when I'm weird on YouTube, I watch a lot of like action sports type of stuff, like Ryan Williams, like Nitro Circus, Braille Skate, some of those guys.
Now I can say that as well. I've changed my my view of YouTube completely. When I look at YouTube, I think a lot about fitness and sports. When I go to YouTube, I think street beefs, Mayweather boxing channel, IFL boxing, or anything combat sports related. Is kind of like what runs through my mind, because I go on YouTube and my feed is all just boxing, Rumble in the Bronx, New York Fight Club, or the Bronx Fight Club, or something like
Plus,
that.
I get real into video games, like Sunday.
Yeah, that's where I watch most of my boxing, UFC highlights. That's where I catch up on all the latest news for combat sports and fights that I didn't get to see on pay-per-view. YouTube has kind of become this platform where news is, that's where I get my main source of news. But also, I think of combat sports and fitness now in YouTube because of who? Can we kind of like bring up this huge name? I think we probably should. He's a pretty controversial guy. Some people like him, some people don't. Your opinions can be biased as you want. I don't care. Leave it in the feedback section. Logan Paul and KSI, they kind of changed the face of YouTube again, to where fitness and boxing, combat sports is now this like part of the widespread fan base opportunities. But like I brought up some of the minor, more smaller time names that actually kind of built that platform up. The Street Beefs, Rumble in the Bronx, the La Bronx Fight Club, Nick and Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. These people, I'm sure they all had a huge role and impression to play on Logan Paul, Jake Paul, KSI, Deji. I'm trying to fight Jake Paul. For those of you who don't know and who are watching this, I am trying to fight Jake Paul. That's kind of one of my dreams. But I guess we should move on from like you. All right, so we should talk a little bit just more about YouTube before we switch up subjects and talk about that a little bit. huge YouTube subjects we can talk about. The fucking YouTube Rewind this year sucked ass. It sucked ass last year. Everybody's mad because PewDiePie's not in it anymore because he said the big N word on a live stream. And I believe he should be. He did. Alright, so he was. What would you call it? What would be a good word for that? Punished for his actions. What he did. It really did affect him and his channel. And again, he changed the way YouTube can be used as a platform because of the way he abused his ability to manipulate his viewers and just feel like he could do whatever. And I kind of like shun PewDiePie for that. He shuns himself for that, but everybody changes. Like Dalton said, change is inevitable. So I'm sure he's learned from that, and now he understands that he's not able to say that in public and leave that impression and influence on his viewers. Same with Logan Paul. But now they're kind of like trying to change YouTube and make it for the better, and I think they do a great job. I'm not going to complain about anything because it's my job. I really enjoy uploading content for you guys, even though I don't get paid. It's just one of my favorite things to do in my free time, to actually just make videos for you guys. Don't even yawn, I'll punch you in the nuts.
I can't stop, bro.
Oh my god.
I need more coffee.
We don't even have any more coffee.
I know.
I'll have to go make some more.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I think my dream fight right now would be to get a fight with Angel Angelo. Not Angel Angelo, I beat the shit out of Angel Angelo, I'm sorry. My dream right now is to get a fight with Jake Paul, but I won this belt right here from Angel Angelo. We fought for that, and I beat the shit out of him, and now he got a girlfriend in New Jersey that he cries to every night because he can't be a fighter. Like, he trained for 7 years and just, gave up on his dream. Doesn't that suck, dude?
Dude, Angel, man. Angel.
Angel.
Come on, bro.
Listen, deep down inside, I feel for this guy, but that sucks. Fucking 7 years. He uploaded content of him training from 7 years ago. He's been training to be a fighter, and then he gets in one fight with me, a younger guy. I beat his ass. He fucking gives up. He loses his opportunity for that belt up there, which really doesn't even mean much to me. It's his first underground fight. He should have knew that, he probably wasn't going to win. And he should have knew that since I had better experience that he should have been more prepared. He should have thought about it, not like the way he did. He got too anxious, trained too much before his fight. He wore himself out. He wasn't his fullest. He wasn't his best.
He just...
And then he came into the fight with all those excuses, and it ended up being what it is, dude. I don't even want to, go through this, but then my biggest thing about it is he just pretty much gave up on everything. He just dropped everything he was doing, and now he's got this girlfriend, which I'm really happy for him that he's got somebody that appreciates him for him and shit. But dude, that's like the easy way out. You're gonna fucking cry in your girlfriend's fucking shoulder the rest of your life. You want to be a fighter, now you can't.
Through some shit.
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. And
it pisses me off.
I feel like as a fighter, he should have had that mentality of win or lose, I'm gonna do what it takes to be better after this fight, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's your mindset. You should always be better after the fight. You should never think.
Every fight is an experience.
Yeah. You should never think that you're gonna walk back into that ring the same person, because you're not. You're gonna be a better fighter every time you walk into that ring, and I think that's the key to being the best fighter you can be. And as a combat sports athlete, you gotta be able to change
with every fight. With every punch thrown, you gotta be able to change. With every hit taken, you gotta be able to change.
So
make sure that hit doesn't get hit.
My dream fight right now would be with Jake Paul.
I want to see.
But what would your dream fight be? If you were to be a fighter, who would you want?
If I had trained more and was on it.
Or just be the best you could be, fight whoever you wanted.
Dempsey.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about you?
Dempsey. I'm not
really sure. I don't know very many fighters.
So I got 3 people in my mind right now. Dude, really, I got 3 of them in my mind.
Dempsey,
I got
Nick, and then
Jake Paul. I want to fight Jake Paul because he's a bitch and I want his fucking belt. Fuck you, Jake Paul, you little piece of shit. And I want to fight Canelo Alvarez because that'd be one hell of a fucking fight. And that dude, he's a champ for a reason. And how could I say I'm gonna be the greatest in the world if I don't get the world championship title? So, and then I think I'd switch up my combat sports athlete. What would it? My combat sports athlete.
Athletics.
What would it be called? Instead of boxing, I would want to do MMA. So I'd switch my versatility over, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'd switch over from boxing to MMA, and I'd want to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov for his UFC title because he seems to be like the best to me, and
I want to see you go against Lomachenko.
dude, I'm not light enough to fight Lomachenko, dude.
I know,
but I want to beat the Lomachenko.
I don't even care if you're. No,
dude,
I just
Josh Kelly is somebody I want to fight too. Josh Kelly is a badass, and I don't know. I know that I'm not even half as good as I could be, but when I get as good as I can be, I'll be a god. And when I step in that ring, there's nothing that's gonna stop me from doing my best to win what I need to win. So, with that being said, I think we're just gonna switch subjects to what would be the greatest fight you'd ever want to see. Between who and who,
Dude, I don't know. I want to see,
like you want to see like Muhammad Ali or versus Tyson.
I want to see Tyson versus Dempsey.
You want to see Tyson versus Dempsey? Tyson versus Dempsey, I think would be easy, man. I think Tyson would own Dempsey.
I just want to see it.
I think Dempsey had a good chin and he had hard hands, but his style was kind of inferior to Tyson's style. And honestly, in the long run, I think Tyson's going to be able to outbox, outmaneuver, and outpunch.
I just want to see it.
But I think you're right. It'd be a good fight probably. But I think a good fight to see, kind of more that would impress you, would probably be Rocky Marciano against Jack Dempsey. For some reason, I feel like that'd be a battle of the gods. For some reason, like I just feel like those guys would get in there and just brawl like 15 more rounds or something, and just go at it the whole time. And really, in the end, it's not because they hated each other, because they had no respect for each other. It's because they had the most respect for each other, and that's why they beat the shit out of each other. You know what I'm saying? It's because there's no holding back when you have all the respect you need for somebody to just beat the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? Other idea, like, I think the fight that I'd want to see is,
that's my ankle.
I'd want to see Ali versus Tyson, I think would be the most exciting fight. And in the end, I think Ali would win.
You know what?
Huh?
Muhammad Ali versus Lomachenko.
Oh my god, what are you talking about? Lomachenko's like 100 pounds less than Muhammad Ali is, dude.
Yeah, but like, with Lomachenko is like agility and dodging, and Muhammad Ali's fast ass fucking hands.
Okay.
What
Let's
do you
switch
think?
up topic a little bit. Like I can talk.
I mean,
Okay, so now we're gonna get into the top 3 fighters you'd like to what skills you'd like to take from them
Yeah.
to build the
Who
ultimate
would
boxing.
be the best fighter in your
And
opinion?
for me, okay, I want to see a mixture of Jack Dempsey, Lomachenko, and Nate Diaz. I want Dempsey's hard hitting and basically iron jaw. Okay. I want Lomachenko's footwork and head work. Definitely. And then I want Nate's not give a fuck attitude. Plus his groundwork.
Yeah. And, I gotta say, I think Nate Diaz's jaw and chin is way better than Jack Dempsey's.
The combination of those two.
Yeah, And what I think is, Nate Diaz isn't the hardest hitter, and neither is Lomachenko. I think that's what you got the
Dempsey for.
that's the trump card from Dempsey. Is you're gonna have that.
That's why I said
knockout
first.
power for anybody, and then the ability to maneuver his feet and head like Lomachenko is just that's like levels above anything Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali could already do at it. Like, and are we saying this guy's gonna be heavyweight? Is he gonna be Lomachenko weight? Is he gonna be Diaz weight?
He's gonna be Diaz weight.
All right, so yeah, he's gonna be crazy fucking fast and strong and shit compared to other people his weight. And then his footwork's gonna be superb. But that not give a fuck attitude, I think, is what, because if he ever really gets like shook and stunned, or just like gets into a fucking fight with a guy who's gonna be straight in there and just want to really, fight with you and just exchange fists, he's gonna have that like, all right then, let's brawl, let's fight, let's throw hands. You just want to fucking go, let's go then. And I'm not.
Plus, if he's doing MMA, I want Nate's groundwork.
Yeah, and Nate has bomb ass groundwork.
Yeah.
Dude. Now, if you ask me, I think the greatest fighter would be. I think Josh Kelly has better head work and footwork than Lomachenko. And harder punches, but he's a little bit heavier. So he's just that little bit heavier. And then I'd want him to have ground game like Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'd want him to have head work and footwork like Josh Kelly. The speed and head work of footwork of Josh Kelly, because I gotta say, like, Josh Kelly's probably as fast as Ryan Garcia is. And he's heavier than Ryan Garcia, just a little bit, and he's faster, probably, if not faster than Ryan Garcia. He's about as fast, but he's faster with his head work and his footwork, for sure. Ryan Garcia, he's just not that knowledge yet with his footwork or head work,
Yeah.
I mean, he's good, but not like Josh Kelly or Lomachenko good, you know what I'm saying? His hands are really what make him superb. And Josh Kelly has those hands. Now, what I gotta say is, Lomachenko's gonna light you up, but if you get hit by Josh Kelly, you're going to sleep, dude. That's it. Yeah. And then he's so fast. So you got a guy that's coming at you like Mike Tyson with head work like Lomachenko, footwork like Lomachenko, and he's hitting you as hard as he fucking can, every time. And so it's like one punch, you're done. So, and then I want him to have ground game like Khabib Nurmagomedov, so he's gonna have these awesome fucking submissions and super brutal wrestling, very vulgar, very aggressive and heinous, but at the same time, he's going to be very intelligent about it, and then he's also going to know how to alter his boxing ability from head work and footwork into his wrestling, so he'll know how to throw these insane punches and then fake shoots into punches and toe drags and stuff like that. It'll just make him a completely different animal. And then
This would be an interesting trend for podcasts.
Yeah, it kind of would be.
I want to hear Joe Rogan's opinions on
but
this.
and I get one more fighter to add into that.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali. And why is because he has the perfect judge of distance. When people are coming at him, he can backpedal perfectly, and he can be on the ropes. He's always comfortable, and that attitude of him always saying that he's the greatest, it's perfect for a fighter. You couldn't have anything better. He's always got that, I'm going to beat you no matter what. He's like, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That shit, that's what fucking really gets you. You're like, it's kind of like Conor McGregor fucking cockiness. I walk in there like, I don't care if I win or lose, because I'm going to leave that impression that I'm the best here tonight. And it's going to be no matter what, And I think that's really when you got that perfect fighter. Because he's not only going to have the perfect ground game, he's going to have the perfect hands, he's going to have the perfect defense, offense, and fucking grappling. So, in every way, I think he's the perfect fighter. In fact, I think he'd be a little deeper guy. I've been thinking about this all day since he brought it up to me earlier, so I kind of had all that time to really think about it. But what about you? Who would be your perfect fighter? You're like, I don't even know. Fuck it. All right. Let's switch subjects.
Yeah,
Marvel or DC?
Marvel, of course.
I'm a Marvel guy.
Marvel.
This
DC
guy's
fan.
a DC bitch. Fuck Marvel. Stan Lee's the god. Rest in peace.
Rest in
I
peace,
hope
Stan
so,
Lee.
yeah.
I'll admit, I love them both, but
Yeah,
I'm a DC fan.
The reason I don't like DC is because I feel like it was more meant for kids, and that has a huge impact on how comics were viewed. They started the first like superhero comics, and I greatly appreciate that. But Stan Lee took it to a whole new level with like people like the Fantastic Four, the Mutant Crisis, and the X-Men, stuff like that. That's
See, I'm just DC because that's what I grew up with.
I think Marvel.
I
I grew up.
grew up-
I grew up with Marvel, so I think that's another thing.
Yeah, but I grew up with DC. Like
The
I
versatility.
knew.
But you gotta
like,
understand the difference between Marvel and DC is Marvel is way more realistic in a sense of like story and relativity to personal contrast. You know, because listen, if you look at fucking DC, it's like aliens that are fucking all like orphans.
What
and
about
shit.
fucking like my storyline with
It's
DC is always Batman, fucking Robin.
And look, they're fucking orphans, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, that's every single fucking story in DC is like the same fucking shit. Both of their parents died. They ended up getting their fucking powers from an alien or some shit. Batman is an exception because he's completely different. But at that time, dude, they also really were like, what are people into? Batman wasn't popular until like when? The 80s, dude. Batman really didn't get very popular until like fucking late 70s, early 80s. So you gotta understand, Batman was around for how long? Almost 40 years before he even got a glimpse of really like what he is now. So he's changed a lot. But what I'm saying when Spider-Man came around, dude, Spider-Man was a fucking his story. I mean, nobody really knows much about his parents. Of course, he's an orphan, but you know what? Instead of him just being an orphan and being super rich, he's a kid, dude, that lives with his aunt and uncle in fucking Queens, New York. He has to go to school every day, and he's got to be trying to be a superhero with this alter ego that's not really his. And you know what? He doesn't just slick his hair back or put some fucking shit over his eyes and say he's a fucking no. He has to put a whole mask on, a whole suit, and change his voice and shit, change the whole way he acts. Dude, seriously. So it's more realistic, you know, of alright, how he has to live, the relativity from his daily life to his superhero life, and that contrast between like, alright, the X-Men came out in the 70s when racism was still kind of a thing, you know, and people were just starting to get over it. So what did the X-Men kind of touch bases on? Racism, because everybody hated the mutants. Nobody wanted mutants to be around because of whatever reason. So it kind of the mutant crisis actually kind of reflected on the whole human rights, fucking movement that was going on, or civil rights movement, whatever you would like to call it. And with that being said, it left a huge impact, like, for people not only at the time, but for people in the future and how they read that and viewed that. And I think that's why it made Marvel better all around. It's like, because you can make the classic Justice, Superman, Batman, Flash, fucking I'm gonna save the day in the end all the time bullshit, but you know what? Sometimes the heroes don't win, and Marvel proves that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what happens at the end of the X-Men? They all die. You know what I'm saying?
It's just, I know DC. I don't know Marvel.
Yeah. Well, and so
like,
I guess let's change plot. Let's change.
I'm actually
Start-
going to step out for a minute, so.
No, wait. We're about to finish soon. Don't worry.
Alright.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Or Star Wars.
I like Star Wars.
I've never seen Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek is cool. I like the new
Star
movies,
Trek
but
is
I never
cool,
got into the fucking.
And I watched the old show,
Never
but
seen it.
I just found Star Wars much more
What I
captivating.
gotta say is, people who grew up before Star Wars came out probably like Star Trek more because they were more captivated by Star Trek before they were Star Wars. And Star Wars kind of seemed like a ripoff of Star Trek if anybody only grew up with Star Trek in the beginning. So let's move on. Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Well, y'all are fucking faggots. Star Wars is way cooler. Fuck your gay ass rings and your stupid swords. Jedi's, the Force, Yoda, and
No.
that's all I gotta say.
Lord of the Rings, bro.
Dude,
Lord
no.
of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is cool and all, but yeah, no. And,
Alright.
I don't even. Why do I gotta even touch this? Like, come on, man. Nothing about Lord of the Rings.
So
is fucking
Fallout or
cool.
Skyrim?
Fallout.
I've never actually played Skyrim.
I love Skyrim.
I love Skyrim.
way too
and
much
this
for
is like
me.
the hardest question. Like this is the hardest thing for me.
Skyrim was
I
way too
love
much for
the
me.
entire Elder Scrolls.
I'm
Clear
more-
back to Arena.
I'm more captivated by that more like post-apocalyptic kind of feel than I am.
And I
like
feel
Night
that.
Warriors.
And
But the
I
reason I
love
always is like
medieval.
because I dream for that still, dude. And I love the medieval shit. And dude, if I were like 12, grew up with Skyrim like everybody else did, I'd probably love Skyrim way more. But you know what? In the time that I grew up with Skyrim, I wanted that like steampunk gearhead fucking, you know, grunge fucking
which I
apocalyptic.
that's
Mad
how I
Max
got
feel.
in, that's how I got into Mad Max.
Yeah.
And all that.
So and that's what I was into.
I used to
And-
walk around with
Yeah.
like a trench coat and like I had a gas mask
Yeah.
and like I get all that, but Skyrim,
Dude, Skyrim, he says.
Skyrim,
Dude, I was
man.
just like, I never got to play Skyrim. And
when I can literally yell at a dragon and smack it in the head with a hammer and
See,
it dies,
That's another thing is,
I'm down.
whenever I got to play Skyrim, it was never my game. It was never my version. I never owned the PS3 until like a year and a half ago, maybe. So it's like, I never had those luxuries of playing my own video games. When I play video games, they're usually somebody else's. And so when I played Skyrim, it wasn't mine. And it was in a way, like, I only got to play it for like a month. And I never got to enjoy the full game, never got to beat it. So when it comes to Fallout,
Or
I've
like
beaten
Dark
the games.
Souls.
I've beaten one of the games, and that, like, I can truly enjoy the game and play it over and over and actually get to, like, you know, engulf myself in that story. So that's kind of why I enjoy Fallout more. And again, I actually learned to enjoy that more grungy, gearhead, steampunk, post-apocalyptic feel than I did.
And it's not.
But you know, I'm not,
it's
not,
as
taking
jumbling
anything away from
crazy.
Skyrim. I totally love it. I'm just. Being
I never
biased.
played it. It was too much. It was just too complicated. Too many things. It just none of it made sense to me. It fucked with me. But the
Dude,
Fallout,
if you
it was the
cannot
post-apocalypse thing.
understand
It
Skyrim,
just
like Dark Souls is gonna be
that kind of made sense.
a
I don't know.
I
Alright.
like Dark Souls.
Well, I think that's gonna be the end of today's stream.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's
Yeah.
kind of probably a boring podcast. Next one will be a little more controversial, I think, because we left all the
Yeah.
controversial topics out of this one.
We left a
All
big
the-
chunk of what we had planned out.
Because I think we
Yeah,
spent
we'll
too much
just-
time on zombies and fucking
Yeah.
bullshit like that.
Eventually, I think the next podcast will probably be me calling you guys on like Skype or something,
It could
and we'll
be
do a
anything.
stream like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll do an online podcast.
Yeah,
Have it so you guys can interact a little bit too.
but yeah, that wasn't bad, man. I feel pretty confident about that. Probably boring as fuck, but in the end, I appreciate you all for viewing. So
Yep.
let's
Appreciate
call it
you.
night.
Like,
too,
comment,
Wastelanders.
subscribe, all
Hope you
that.
guys enjoyed that. Really, you know, me just sitting here staring at the abyss. That's pretty much what I was doing the whole time. Was just staring at the abyss. So, wow. Now it's